I never expected the night to change everything. It was past 11 when the office floor had gone completely quiet. Only the soft hum of the air conditioner and the glow of my computer screen kept me company. I was still sitting at my desk, sleeves rolled up, trying to finish the quarterly report that refused to make sense. My shoulders ached from hours of typing. Then I heard his footsteps. He was the new senior manager who had joined 2 weeks ago. Tall, calm, with kind eyes that always seemed to notice more than they should. His name was Arjun. I had only spoken to him a few polite times during meetings. "Still here?" he asked softly from the doorway of my small cabin. I looked up and smiled tiredly. "Yes. This report is killing me." He stepped inside without being asked. The room felt smaller the moment he entered. He walked around my desk and leaned over my shoulder to look at the screen. His chest was close enough that I could feel the warmth of his body. "Let me see," he said gently. His right hand reached forward to scroll the mouse. As he did, the back of his fingers brushed against my left hand resting on the desk. The touch was light, almost accidental, but it stayed. His fingers didn't pull away. They rested there, warm skin against warm skin for a long second. My breath caught. That single touch sent a slow, sweet shiver up my arm and straight into my chest. I didn't move my hand. Neither did he. For a moment, the only sound was our breathing and the quiet click of the mouse. "You've done most of it already," he murmured, his voice low and close to my ear. "Just this part needs fixing." He stayed right there, his body slightly leaning into mine, his hand still covering part of mine on the mouse. The closeness felt so natural, like we had done this 100 times before. My heart was beating faster now. I could smell the faint scent of his cologne, mixed with the warm smell of someone who had also worked a long day. I turned my face slightly toward him. Our eyes met. Neither of us said anything for a few seconds. The air between us felt thick with something new and tender. Then he did something that made my stomach flutter. He slowly turned his hand and let his palm rest fully over the back of my hand, fingers gently curling around mine. It was such a simple gesture, but it felt incredibly intimate in the silent office. "May I help you finish it?" he asked, his voice softer than before. I nodded, unable to speak right away. "Yes, well, please." He pulled up a chair and sat right beside me, so close that our arms touched from shoulder to elbow. His left arm rested lightly along the back of my chair, almost around me, but not quite. Every time he pointed at something on the screen, his fingers would brush my arm or his shoulder would press gently against mine. We worked like that for the next hour, quiet, close. Sometimes he would lean in to explain a number, and his cheek would come very near my temple. I could feel the warmth of his breath on my skin. My body stayed aware of every point where we touched. Our arms, our shoulders, the side of his knee against my thigh under the desk. It was innocent, yet it made my pulse race with longing. At one point, I sighed in frustration at a complicated formula. Without thinking, he reached over and placed his hand on my upper arm, giving it a gentle, reassuring squeeze. "Hey, it's okay," he whispered. "We'll get it done together." That touch stayed longer than it needed to. His fingers moved slowly up and down my arm in a soothing way. I closed my eyes for a second, letting myself feel the comfort of it. When I opened them, he was looking at me with such softness that my throat tightened. We finished the report around 1 in the morning. Instead of getting up to leave, he turned his chair toward me. I turned mine too. Our knees were touching now. He reached out and took both my hands in his, resting them on my lap. His thumbs moved gently over the backs of my hands, tracing small circles. "You work too hard," he said quietly. "I've noticed." I looked down at our joined hands. "So do you." He smiled a little. "Maybe we both need someone to remind us to rest." The words hung between us. The office lights were dim, and the city outside the window was almost silent. It felt like the whole world had disappeared, leaving just the two of us in this small, warm space. He lifted one of my hands and brought it to his lips. He placed the softest kiss on my knuckles, then another on the inside of my wrist. My breath trembled. "Come here," he whispered. I stood up slowly. He stood with me. His arm slid around my waist, pulling me gently against him. Our bodies met in a careful, full embrace. My arms went around his neck. We held each other like that, standing beside my desk, swaying just a little. His chin rested on top of my head. I could feel his heartbeat against my chest. It was the most intimate thing I had felt in years. We stayed like that for a long time, just holding each other. No rush, no pressure, only the sweet ache of closeness. His hands moved slowly up and down my back, stroking in comforting lines. I pressed my face into his shoulder and breathed him in. After a while, he pulled back just enough to look at me. One hand came up to cup my cheek. His thumb brushed my lower lip so tenderly that my eyes fluttered. Then he leaned in and kissed me. It was soft, slow, full of longing. His lips moved against mine with such care, like he was learning the shape of something precious. I kissed him back, my fingers sliding into his hair. Our bodies stayed pressed together, hips slightly touching, arms wrapped around each other. The kiss deepened naturally, but it stayed gentle, emotional, full of everything we hadn't said yet. When we finally parted, we were both breathing a little faster. He rested his forehead against mine. "I've wanted to do that since the first time I saw you working late," he admitted quietly. I smiled, my hand still on his chest. "I didn't know, but I felt something too." He kissed me again, shorter this time, then pressed his lips to my forehead, my temple, the corner of my eye. Each kiss felt like a promise. We moved to the small couch in the corner of the office that was meant for visitors. He sat first and pulled me down beside him. I curled into his side naturally. His arm went around my shoulders, holding me close. My head rested on his chest. One of his hands found mine again, and our fingers intertwined. For the next 2 hours, we talked, really talked. He told me about his divorce 2 years ago and how lonely the nights had become. I told him about my last relationship that ended because we never really saw each other. We shared our fears about the future, the dreams we had quietly given up on, the small hopes we still carried. All the while, our bodies stayed connected. His fingers played with my hair. My free hand rested on his chest, feeling every breath he took. Sometimes he would tilt my chin up and kiss me again, soft, lingering kisses that made my heart ache with sweetness. At one point, I shifted and swung my legs across his lap. He welcomed it, his arm tightening around my waist to keep me close. His other hand rested on my knee, thumb moving in slow circles. We stayed like that, talking and touching, the tension between us growing warmer and deeper with every minute. "I don't want to go home tonight," I whispered against his neck. "You don't have to," he answered, kissing the top of my head. "Stay with me, just like this." We didn't sleep much. We held each other on that small couch, bodies tangled in the gentlest way. His arms around me, my face buried in his chest, legs intertwined. Every small movement brought us closer. When I felt cold, he pulled me tighter. When he sighed, I kissed his collarbone softly. The longing was constant, that beautiful ache of wanting to be even closer, of knowing we were building something real. But we kept it tender. We let the emotional connection grow stronger than the physical pull. As the first light of dawn began to touch the windows, he cupped my face with both hands and looked into my eyes for a long time. "I want to keep seeing you," he said. "Not just here, not just at night. I want to know you properly." I nodded, my heart full. "I want that too." He kissed me one last time, slow, deep, and full of promise. Our bodies pressed together from chest to hips, arms wrapped tightly around each other. It felt like coming home after a very long time. We finally stood up when the office building started to wake up. He helped me gather my things, his hand never leaving my lower back. At the elevator, he pulled me into one more embrace, kissing me softly on the lips in the empty corridor. As we stepped out into the morning light together, his fingers found mine and held on. That single touch from the night before, his hand brushing mine over the mouse, had opened a door neither of us could close now. And I didn't want to. I wanted every late night, every quiet conversation, every gentle kiss and warm embrace that would come after. I wanted him.